Yeah,
hello,
hello, what's going on, guys?
hello. Welcome everyone to our 4th edition to That's My Story. And if this may be your first week tuning in, That's My Story is just us utilizing our platform to talk to some of your favorite artists, producers, musicians, and allow them to share their stories with you, because oftentimes we just see these artists, these performers on stage, but there's a whole nother element, that goes on away from the stage, even dating back to the early years as far as them getting into music. So we're definitely excited tonight. What's up, Brandon? What's up, Ken?
What's going on? How y'all doing?
Get my camera straight here.
A lot of people don't, a lot of fans, I should say, don't know what goes on behind the scenes. How do you get ready to do a song? How do you get ready to do a show? Or what happens when you're on the road or whatever. And by the way, some of our friends are already on there. Michelle.
Oh,
Sharon,
man.
Ken McBride.
Let us know where you're checking in from. I was going to say calling from, but let us know where you're logging in from, your city, your state, your country, and we thank you all for the support. We're still quarantined.
And for the first time, we got Midas, Mauricio Coliano Lucas, if I said it right. Carlos Dick from the UK.
Yes, indeed.
Y'all can give Ken's attempt at a Spanish accent.
Yeah, Italian or Spanish is, I do my best. But I think we have a great show for you guys tonight.
Yo, for sure. Two very special guests. Before we bring on, just to let you know, we have 2 very special guests for you guys from the legendary R&B soul group Honeycomb. We have Miss Shelly Clark, and also will be joining her a little later on in the program as legendary bassist and founding member of the great group Earth, Wind and Fire. So we're excited. Yeah. We're excited today.
The best band in the land.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So, you guys ready?
Yes.
Well, without further ado, let us bring on our first guest. Again, as I said earlier, she's a member of the American R&B soul girl group Honeycomb.
Yes,
Miss Shelly Clark White.
Shelly, how's it going?
Yes. Thank you for having us today.
Shelly Crush.
Ken Crush, Shelly Crush.
There you go. It's an honor and a privilege to have you on with us today. So
thank you.
We're glad to have you.
So how to be here?
How have you been holding up during this quarantine period while we all have been kind of on stay-at-home, restrictions and whatnot?
It's been real different, but I can say I have the best quarantine partner under the sun. He's just like he is on stage, entertaining, funny, just everything. So I lucked up.
That makes it even easier, That makes it easier. So I guess we could get right on into it then. So how did you first get interested or started with your musical journey?
Oh, well, as a child, I had very aggressive parents that were sort of in the industry, but not really. I did one little pageant fashion show, and my mother and father saw that I could sing, and they said, "Uh-oh, we better do something with her." And I could dance, so they hurried up and started. He was like the original Joe Jackson in the serious. Yeah. He was pretty tough. But he was all about excellence, and then he got my brother involved, and we were billed as the Fabulous Clark Kids.
Okay.
And we came into auditions with people like Hines and Dad. That was Gregory and Maurice Hines. And they were kids. and we would have to beat them out of auditions, but we had an edge because we could sing, and all they did was, a tap dance. When my father made sure we were equipped, we had ballroom, tap, Latin, swing. We did everything. We looked like midgets. People used to tell us, those can't be kids.
And where are you from originally, Shelly?
Brooklyn,
okay.
New York.
That is. So this was growing up in Brooklyn.
Yeah, yep, from Brooklyn, and was actually Brooklyn Projects, and we started. We couldn't do after school. We couldn't do homework before we had to rehearse an hour and a half. And back then we couldn't afford a rehearsal hall, so we used to take us out to the park, and we would rehearse our routines and the songs and everything out there. And he was sort of like a manager. So sure enough, as time went by, we started getting really great gigs, like with some of the stuff you're about to show.
Who were some of the acts? Didn't you do some things with who's this right here?
This is the actor Tab Hunter, and I was in the touring. I was like 8 months touring with the Cab Calloway Cotton Club Review.
Nice.
And he was always angry with me because his daughter auditioned, and I beat his daughter out of the role. And so every day on tour, he was angry with me. He would try to make me trip me up with the microphone, dancing on stage.
Get you out of there.
He was a real piece of work. But
Lena Horne right here.
This is Lena Horne right here.
Nice.
Yeah.
A lot of them came to the show when it was over, and they would say, "We want to meet the little girl." They thought I was Cab's daughter, so a lot of times I just played the role.
You were a child.
This is Jimmy Durante right here. That's Liberace and his brother George.
Oh wow!
Nice. Wow. Now this was Shelly. Was that in say early 60s?
50, probably 50s.
In the 50s.
All right, nice.
Nat King Cole.
Nat King Cole right there.
Oh, nice. The king.
Man, you were around legends very, very early, Shelly.
Oh man, and they would ask for, will you sign a picture for me? And so my father would always have, headshots and stuff. So I'd always sign them, and so they were all great though. They're all really, really down to earth people, as I remember as a kid.
Yeah,
That's
legendary. Your career is legendary.
Thank you.
I mean, you were what, like 8 years old, 9?
Yeah, actually, we started at 6 or 7, and we some of these we did 7 months on Broadway. It was like almost a show every night, except for I think Mondays we went dark. But we were the youngest kids to be performing on Broadway at that time, and that was like 8 months every day, except for. So we had to go to private school because we were never, So that was that was.
And that Broadway musical, was that the House of Flowers?
Yes, that was the House of Flowers. That was featuring Juanita Hall, Pearl Bailey, Diane Carroll. She was just I think
Diane Carroll.
Diane Carroll. This was her first job.
Wow.
And Pearl Bailey and an up and coming singer named Ron Spearman, and he was like an early version of Harry Belafonte. He was, had that look and that kind of thing. And Joffrey Holder, Alvin Ailey. There were so many.
Then he ended up. He was a choreographer.
Yes, but they were dancers at the time in a large troupe. So,
yeah, that's awesome.
Wow. That's awesome.
Wow,
that's really awesome. So
I think we left the show. My brother and I left the show, and went to go record an album and we only had 2 days to do it because we had to get right back to the show. An
album in 2 days.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. We were signed to Columbia Records, and we did this album. We cranked it out. It was crazy because we were forced to learn lyric. Back then, you recorded with a whole you know,
The
all the
band and
musicians were right there.
everything.
So you couldn't mess up because, you know,
You got to
you have
start off.
trouble.
Yeah.
Mhm. So
Gosh.
we did
Wow.
that. And I was
Well,
right
but
back.
that trained you. That trains for later on. You know.
That's right.
In
That's
your
right.
in your next level. You
That's
know.
right. That's right.
And you were probably more sharper than most in that next level.
That's right. That's right.
Especially
And-
starting so young like that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know. Is
And
there
then
any?
you have a strong arm guy over you that he helps
Did you-
you remember, or else, you know.
Did you do any singing in the church at all coming up?
I did not sing in the church. No.
Okay, well, you
No.
already had a career already.
I did. I did.
Yeah.
That was crazy. We traveled all the time. We were all
Mhm.
over. We were all over the states, and I can't even remember half the things we were the youngest team to ever perform at the Apollo and the Palace Theater. We had like four shows a day.
Oh,
And
wow.
I remember we had to sleep on chairs backstage. It was the most uncomfortable thing. It was crazy. But you know, you have to take it when it's there. So
That's true.
that was a real experience.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Wow. That's
So-
amazing.
Go ahead,
So, Shelly, getting started so early and being that you were traveling and performing, did you think of that as just something normal because you were already doing it, or did you feel like you missed out on some of the other things that, some other friends of yours who weren't in the entertainment industry were doing? Like, did you miss, like, just playing with your friends? And
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Because we always used to say, can we go play? Can we do this and that? And they were terrified of us falling down and getting injured. And we can't go on stage. So they limited what we could do.
wow.
And after a while, we got to the point where we just, didn't ask anymore. And we just, settled in with the fact that we weren't going to have any friends. We were just going to be on stage. And we tried to seek out friends that were like us,
Gotcha.
Absolutely. Now, you also, go ahead, Ken.
Were your parents musical?
Yes. My mother was a concert pianist.
Nice.
And my father could play, he played trumpet. Believe it or not, he was a great whistler, and he could whistle anything through any song.
Wow.
And what else? He was a dancer. He could tap dance, kind of like what are those brothers? No, the other brothers.
I'm not
the Nicholas
sure.
brothers. Yeah, he was on that order.
Yeah.
He was on that order.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you spent some time.
He taught us all the routines, everything. My dad.
Nice.
Awesome. And you spent some time with Ike and Tina Turner as an Ikeette.
Yeah.
And also a year with you spent a year with Little Richard performing. Could you tell us a little bit about those experiences?
Sure. I remember felt like I'd just gotten out of high school, and somehow or another this woman named Ann Kane found me, and she said, I wanted to find out if you wanted to tour with Ike and Tina Turner. I said, really? And she came to my house. And I believe Ann Kane was married to one of the Temptations. I can't remember which one, but she came over and she auditioned me right in my living room as a young girl. I was maybe 19 or something. I was maybe 19. She said, okay, great. You fly out tomorrow. I was like, what?
Got the job.
Wow. No time to prepare, really. Wow.
No. So flew right out. I landed. Went to my room, I unpacked. There was a bang on the door, and it was Ike. And
a bang on the door.
I said, start now. Here we go.
Yeah,
and
that's awesome.
I said, yeah. And he said, well, I thought maybe I would just stay here for a while. And I said, well, you know what? They didn't tell me about you. So I started packing my clothes again. And I said, I'll be out of here. I'll be out of here in the next, thing smoking tonight. And he said, oh, never mind. I'm not going to bother. So I was one of the few that he didn't bother. He was really a genius and very creative in his own right.
Right.
But he was kind of controlling. And I think he was one of the first ones to have a all-girl crew that worked for him, including very innovative stuff. A white young road manager, female named Rhonda Graham, and Rhonda, flaming red hair. I remember she would she would pay us every Sunday in cash while we were touring, and I just remember that being like, you know, very interesting time, because she's still actually Tina's assistant.
Oh, wow.
They've been rolling for over 50 years. She was Tina's maid of honor.
Oh,
and so I remember the first day in the elevator. I was in the elevator going down to rehearsal, and Tina got in and she said, what's your name? I said, Shelly. And she said, what sign are you? And I said, I'm a Leo. And she said, oh, we're going to get along great. I'm a Sagittarius. And from that point on, we got along great. And they used to refer to me, because when he stormed out of the room, he said, you're nothing but a baby. So I had that title, as, you know, but it wasn't bad. They would always say, go wake up the baby. We got to go have, you know, wake up the babies. I was always the baby.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. Did you want to touch a little bit on your experiences with Little Richard? Rest in peace to him.
Yeah, rest in peace. Right. That was really something. I got a lot of calls when he died. With Richard, I was primarily a dancer, and I would open the show up for him. He's such a funny guy. He was funny like that.
Oh, I could imagine.
You know, just think
I got a story, but I ain't gonna tell it.
What'd you say?
Ken said he has a story, but he's not going to share with us.
I was just joking. Go ahead.
Anyway, I don't know if you remember this tall dancer. Some of us baby boomers will remember him from Laugh-In and from Playboy After Dark. And his name was Byron Gilliam. He was a tall dancer, very graceful, so he and I would come out and open up the show for Richard. And then he would come on after that. But we did that for about a year. But no singing there, just dancing.
Dancing. All right, cool. All right,
he was crazy. Richard pulled some antics. He was, you know, and that was the time. You remember Bumps Blackwell, his manager? You remember him?
Oh, yes.
I don't.
Blackwell.
You do, Ken? Okay.
Yeah. Back in the day.
Yeah, right?
Any questions from the fans on? I saw something pop up, a question about Little Richard or Tina.
And in the meantime, I forgot to mention to you guys who are watching, if you don't have Facebook by chance, or you know your friends don't have Facebook, you can also catch this live over on YouTube right now. I think we have a link prepared to pop up for you where you can go over to YouTube, check it out there if you like. You can also like and subscribe. Therefore, you get up-to-date content when we release it, as far as the Chairman of the Board, whether it be a video, a single, or what have you. You get the content first.
Right. Was there a question for Shelly in regards to either one of those? Let me see.
I missed it. It's a lot going on. But while we looking for that, Shelly, 1978, you were part of a TV show.
Yes.
A regular and the star of a TV show. Okay.
It was a cross between I want to say American Bandstand and Solid Gold.
Okay.
Right. It was like a disco, and Verdine White, my then sort of boyfriend, was the music director, and he said, "This is a great show coming on. That, you know, I got wind of. I'm the director on it, and I'm going to write the theme song, and I'm doing all the music, and they need a girl who can sing and dance, and so, you know, go down there and audition." So I did, and so got the role, and then it was great. Allie Willis did the lyrics to the theme song, and it was called. The show was called Hot City Disco.
Hot City, okay.
And I came down on this real huge elevator, and then when I got to the bottom, these bombs exploded, and they got so close to me that they singed all my hair and my and my skin. And the front of it had on this real sheer outfit. That the costume was made by Bill Whitten and Bill Whitten and Lewis Wells. And of all people, there's a post on the Earth, Wind, and Fire site today about Bill Whitten's clothes. Well, this was one of them also.
Okay.
Wow.
This costume that I'm wearing, and it was like tight. It was like futuristic. I was supposed to be an alien called Fire that came down from outer space to get the party started.
Don't we have a clip of that? Don't we have a clip of that?
I think we have a clip from the show. If everything's everything's up and moving, we may not have it right off. We did have some minor difficulties earlier, considering the storms in the area and everybody being on Wi-Fi and whatnot. But if we don't have it accessible right away, it's not a problem. I think we lost Brandon too for a moment, but you know, we're gonna keep it rolling. We're definitely gonna keep it rolling. So, okay, there's Brandon.
What's up? All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. When I try to scroll and look at people's comments, it kicks me out for some reason. So that's
and there's a lot of comments. There's a lot of comments coming in today too. Shout out to all our UK people over there, man. Our UK friends. You guys, wow. I see some names. I see Ellie. I see shout out to Kathy Fogel is on.
Hey, Kathy.
Bonnie Day. I'm just scrolling real quick. We did have a video prepared. I'm not sure if our producer is able to play it right now or not. We all
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah,
that was
you know what?
nice.
I forgot to make mention that there's a correlation, six degrees of separation. Al McKay, former guitarist with Earth, Wind, and Fire, was also with Tina at the time. We never called her Tina. Everyone in-house called her Dutta. That was just her name.
Oh, okay.
Dutta?
And
Dutta.
I would usually sit with Al on the bus when we were tour bus when we were going from city to city.
Mm-hmm.
And at one particular point, I said, "Whoops, I went dark." I went up. At one particular time, I said, "Hey, Al, wake up! Look at the bus driver. He's falling asleep." Well, of course he was, because since Ike was trying to save money, he would have this poor guy doing the lights for the show at night and driving the bus in the day. So he was never sleeping, and he was just drifting on just coffee and cigarettes, and you know. And so Al was sleepy. Al said, "Well, go up there and talk to him." So I went up for a while. I'm talking to him, trying to keep him awake, because he's nodding and going over the line and this kind of thing. And so finally, I got tired. I went back to my seat. But sure enough, this was toward I had been with him for about a year. He falls asleep, hits a telephone pole. This bus turns over 3 times. I'm the only one. For some reason, the doors opened up in front of the. I go out the door. I don't remember any of this. I'm unconscious by now. I go out the door and down, fall into a ravine about 50 feet below, and it's in Kansas, and it's snowing.
Wow.
And I woke up to see Al McKay standing over me, going, Shelly, are you dead? Wake up! And I looked up at him, I didn't know what happened, but I knew something had happened. I said, Al, I have a headache and my head hurts and I have a fever blister. And he said, no, we were in a bad accident. He takes his coat off in snowing weather and puts it under my head because I got, bruises. My face is all mangled. And I went to the hospital along with some of the other musicians. And that was like, that stopped, everything for me with the Ikettes. I was hospitalized for 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
They had to bring another Ikette, they had to audition somebody else.
Take that spot. Well, thankfully you survived that. Everybody else made it out okay too at that time.
That's right. One of the I think the bass player, Ron Johnson, I think he broke his jaw and his back. He was hospitalized too. And oddly enough, Ike was in the bus. Everybody got hurt but him.
Oh, wow.
Oddly enough, what a coincidence.
Wow.
I mean, a lot of people, musicians and entertainers go through a lot traveling, especially back in the day, by car or bus, whatever. There's always those obstacles out there that sometimes you can't avoid. But by going up to talking to the driver was what you were supposed to do.
Yeah,
right.
That's the right thing to do.
But I kept it up for about an hour.
Say that again.
I kept it up for about an hour.
You did your job. You did your job.
It happens. It happens. So when you left Ike and Tina and Little Richard, how did you come about being in Honeycomb up in Detroit with them?
Actually, still in LA, and I'm starting to see that there's a lot of money doing session work and background work for different people. And the first trio that I hooked up with was Shirley Matthews, who's a great singer and kind of like a manager type, who knew Carolyn Willis. So the three of us were doing sessions, and we had a little group called the Cover Girls. Cover Girls. And so we were doing work, and then of course Carolyn was doing session work with Edna. I don't think Edna and I ever met, but Carolyn, at one point, of course, a lot of people don't know, but Edna's big sister is Darlene Love, leader of the Blossoms. And they did so much session work. They were triple booked. They would have 3 and 4 sessions a day. Well, it just so happened something came to Darlene Love and the Blossoms that they couldn't do. And so it was the Andy Williams show featuring Dionne Warwick. And so Darlene called Edna. She said, I can't do the show. Do you want to do it? So Edna called Carolyn, and Carolyn called me. And the timing was perfect because I think at that time, Edward Holland was trying to sign Edna as a solo artist. And she didn't really want to be a solo. She wanted to be in a group. So she said something like, look, I'm going to be on TV with 3 girls. Watch this group and see what you think about the look and the sound and so forth. And so we did a good job, and Edward liked the group and asked us, shortly thereafter to come to Detroit and sign. But I was the holdout, and I wouldn't go. Because I was a little bit afraid that them coming right from Berry Gordy, that they were just really Berry Gordy in disguise. And
got you. Wow.
Nobody was going to get paid, and we were going to get worked to death, and no royalties, and none of the above. So I stayed away from it for as long as I could, and the pressure was mounting. Come on, come to Detroit. So finally, I broke down and went to Detroit. So the part about the royalties was true. Wait, but you should know that. I'm happy to say that for people that don't know that this great group in front of me, we're label mates. So we were all there at the same time.
And Chairman of the Board, which brings up our friend and one of my best friends, General Johnson. Now, yes,
we gotta give a round of applause.
His birthday will be this Saturday, May 23rd.
Oh, wow. Okay. Happy birthday.
Yeah. And General and Greg, they wrote you guys hits, right?
Yes. Indeed.
One ad.
I don't know why. I don't know why. But for some reason, you tell me this. I was terrified of the general. Now, why is that? Every time I saw him, I would turn him off the other way.
Yeah. A lot of people said.
Why do you think that was? I got the feeling that he just, you know, he wasn't outgoing. He didn't joke. That's what it was. And no joke.
He was serious.
He was always serious. And that's how he carried himself.
Yeah. Yeah.
In fact, he told me one story that when he was in Detroit, because all three of us, we did live in Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Danny. So he said he was always going to the store, and he would have this mean look on his face. He looked on his face all the time, and he generous to look at people all the time, and just stare.
Amazing.
And so
he was, go ahead.
So one day he said he was standing at this guy, and this guy looked at him and said, "What the you looking at?" Junior said, but you know he had a habit of staring at people, and he kept his demeanor. You know, he said Edward told him, "Man, you need to smile more." You know, so anyway, What you say, Shelly?
No, I was going to say exactly that. We would be in the studio, and I would just remember him as, you know, he wasn't taking no jokes. It was just all serious, straight up and down.
Wow.
And maybe that's why, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, before we get too far down the road, why don't we go to a honeycomb video?
Let's do it.
Yes.
Look out now for the fabulous honeycomb showing up racking them back, and that ain't no fiction, baby. It's a natural fact.
A young man, single and free. Experience and love preferred, but we'll accept the young trainee. Oh, I'm gonna put it in the whole name. I need a love that's true. I'm gonna put it in the whole name. My man and I are through. At home I find myself, I'm lost and all alone. 'Cause my man is playing the field, and the thrill is gone. He stays out all night and says he's with the boys, but that lipstick on his collar, that perfume on his too, it tells me he's been lying. I tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put it in the warning. I need somebody new. I'm gonna put it in the warning. My man and I are through.
Yeah.
That's a groovy song right there.
You, Carolyn, and Edna were the stuff.
Thank you. Thank
Really?
you.
I mean, your harmonies were so tight. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Edna had that voice. I can see why Edward wanted her for a solo artist. And Carolyn was the best soprano in the industry. I'm going to say that hands down. If she could kill an Aretha Franklin song, which, you know, those are hard to do. Carolyn was the stuff. And that song, One Ads, was originally not supposed to be for us. It went to Sherry Payne, Frida's little sister.
Okay,
for the Glass House. She was the lead singer of the Glass House. And for some reason, it just didn't gel with her. She didn't like it. And so Edna said, I love it. I'll take it. And so that's how it came over to us.
Wow.
Yeah, but the blend from the three of y'all is just phenomenal. You know, it reminds me of, like, the Emotions. You know,
they were my favorite group. And my favorite song that they did was "Best of My Love," which, of course, Al McKay, you know, wrote and played on. And Verdine played bass.
Was he involved in that?
He played on that. Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's my favorite song.
Yeah. And we had mentioned before we came on
the two girl group.
What?
I was just going to revisit the fact real quick, since we just played One Ads. Before we came on, we had just had a small discussion about what groups had sampled that, and I knew Mary had sampled it for their song Heaven, and you enlightened me that Common, the rapper, had used a sample from that song in the what was it called? Let Me Testify.
Innocent till proven guilty.
Innocent till proven guilty. So I just wanted to let our viewers know that song had been sampled, and you let us know that you heard that a friend let you know you heard it. They heard it during the Michael Jordan documentary, one of the past Sunday night as well. So I just wanted to bring that to our viewers' attention.
It was the soundtrack to a commercial.
Soundtrack to a commercial.
That song has been featured in movie after movie. Because I said so, it's one movie, and so many songs. People love one ads.
Absolutely.
Very cool.
So General and Greg wrote Stick Up. They wrote
what else?
Stop No Show. I mean,
okay.
Y'all put it out there. I mean, you, Edna, and Carolyn, y'all the real deal. Along with the Emotions, and like you said, Verdine was involved with that, and Al McKay. Those are two girl groups that I looked at. Emotion, Honeycomb Emotion. So, and I bet you some of our fans will have those records, those two records, or the two groups on their playlist or somewhere.
For sure.
Can we ask, does anybody have I see a Stan Rich said something. Stan Rich knew General, I believe. He said it's because the General grew up in church, on Church Street in Norfolk, and you had to be serious. I lived real close and saw him with the Showman many times years ago. Love this interview. Awesome, Stan.
Oh, great comment.
Thank you for tuning in, my friend.
Yeah.
Vanessa Croft said she where's it at? That she loves the throwback video, gorgeous and talented Honeycomb. Awesome.
Yeah, awesome, man. Awesome.
Great. Shelly, tell us, let's revisit really quickly a show that you and your husband worked on together, Hot City in 1988. Can you tell us a little more about that?
Oh yeah, that was such a great show. When he asked me to do the show, and I said, great, let's get it going. Allie Willis did the lyrics, and he was the music director. And I remember I had to come down this I was in an elevator, and it just came down and it hit the bottom. And when it hit the bottom, these pyrotechnics went off and these bombs exploded. And somehow or another, they put them too close to me. And you talk about Michael Jackson Coca-Cola moment.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was stunned.
Did you get a trial run?
All the hair was singed off my outfit that Bill Whitten made. And the outfit was singed. My hair was singed, everything. I think they had to have a doctor look me over before we could continue. But in those days, you don't complain. It's like the show must go on. So
did you get a trial run before they was that? Did you get a chance to rehearse that part?
Say that again.
Did you get a trial run before you?
That was the trial.
So the trial was live. It was live. That's it.
Well, do we have a clip of that?
I think we do.
Oh. Put on your dancing shoes and do not panic.
Hot City.
That was Hot City for real.
Hot City. Wow. But you know what, Shelly? I love the texture of your voice.
Thank you. That show went on for 2 seasons, and I remember being in the studio with Verdine, and we were trying to get it down, and he said, "Now look, you're gonna have to really sing this thing with some passion, and you're gonna have to come with it. You only have one chance. Don't play around in here." And so I had to. After I went in the bathroom and cried for about 10 minutes, I came back out, and then I sang it.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta get a cry out. It makes you feel better.
Listen, we have a question from.
You got to get your confidence up.
Absolutely, a little release.
I heard that. We have a question from producer, musician friend of ours, Rodney Shelton. Yes, ask her, did she and the Honeycomb sing on Keith Washington's records out of Detroit?
Washington. I don't remember doing that. No, unless someone has a better memory.
Okay.
I don't remember singing on his records.
What's up, Rodney?
I don't think we were doing background work for anybody in those days, because Edward and the company had us sequestered in a hotel, and I mean they furnished us with everything, and a stylist, and even though we didn't like her, a stylist, and what do you call it? You had your grooming, charm
wardrobe,
charm school, and the
wardrobe and all of that.
Did you guys do all that? Did you do that? You did, right?
Yeah, everybody had to do that,
Yeah.
Hey, but one of my friends out of Detroit, his name is Lee Marcus. He says, besides Honeycomb and Emotion, we can't forget the Jones Girls.
Oh, okay. We like them.
Yeah,
we like them.
Yeah. All right. So,
well, Shelly, tell us. Now, you may not remember singing with Keith Washington, but do you remember working with a certain muscle-bound gentleman with a mohawk?
With the catchphrase, "I pity the fool."
I got a call that said, they said, you know what? This gentleman is doing a video, and it's to inspire and motivate and teach manners to students. And I said, oh, okay. And they said, Mr. T. I said, Mr. T. And he was rapping, but the whole thing was like, it was a bigger situation. It was like the whole CD, well, at that time it was VHS, was geared toward helping students and helping young people be kind, be nice, get along. And I think the whole project was called, the song was "Treat Your Mama Right."
Treat your mother right, yeah.
right.
Which we all should be doing that,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, why don't we take a look at that video clip?
Treat her right. Mother, I always love her. My mother. So treat her right. Treat her right.
Wow. Hey, believe it or not, I think I remember that.
Yeah.
I think I remember seeing that as a kid.
It's kind of vague. I felt the same way.
Yeah.
Right.
Did he walk around with those chains on all the time?
Yeah.
Like
that was part of his thing, huh? Part of his gimmick.
Yeah.
Like,
you could hear him. You could hear him coming when he was about 75 feet away, couldn't you? Chains clinking together.
I actually ran into him in this jewelry store in Beverly Hills once, and sure enough, he was in there buying more chains. 14 carats.
He loves his jewelry.
Wow, that's great.
Well, I was gonna just ask you before we move on. I had mentioned the YouTube link earlier, and I don't think we were in position for it to pop up. Just for those that want to go over to YouTube real quick, like and subscribe so you can get up to the minute content. I just wanted to throw that back in.
Absolutely.
There it is.
Chairmen of the Board YouTube channel. Make sure you check it out and subscribe. And you can also watch the show from the YouTube channel.
Yes, indeed. No excuses.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Brent.
All right. So,
Great
Shelly,
show.
like everybody else, you've been quarantining, and we know that you've got someone special that you've been quarantining with. Is he available?
Let me bring in my
to
quarantine partner.
All right.
You want to introduce him?
Let me bring in my quarantine partner.
Okay.
Greatest gentleman on the planet.
Yeah, bassist.
There he is.
Founder of the legendary Earth, Wind and Fire,
All
Mr.
right.
Verdine White.
How's it
What's going on,
Verdine?
Verdine?
Thank
How
you
you
for
doing,
being
sir?
on the show.
How you doing? Everything's good?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah,
How
man.
y'all doing? Everybody's good? Everybody's good?
Oh, we're
good,
great.
man.
We're great.
Taking it one day at a time, you know, reinventing ourselves,
Absolutely.
taking advantage of the lockdown and quarantine situation.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
There's so much history between you and your wife, man. So much musical history. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And it's rare to find that, you know, in couple. I mean, especially musical couples. But there's so much history. Can you say, or can you even mention how the two of you got together?
Oh yeah, well, of course, I got to give this credit to Ralph Johnson, because Ralph Johnson from Earth, Wind and Fire introduced me to Shelly, and because he was working on her record, and I played bass on her record for him, and it was great. Of course, one thing led to another, you know, and it's been a great partnership too.
That's awesome, man.
That's
awesome.
great, man. That's great. So how did you get into playing the bass? I think I read on Wikipedia you played a little saxophone prior to picking up the bass.
No, I didn't.
No, that's an incorrect fact then.
Oh, that's all right. That's okay. Yeah. Not to belabor the point, I'm going to keep it moving pretty fast. But
sure.
You know, sure. Chicago and musical family, big family. Father was a doctor, you know, and mother's a teacher, housewife, and 9 of us, 8 of us, 9 of us, and of course Maurice being the older brother. But we listened to a lot of music coming out of Chicago, you know, gospel, jazz, pop, R&B. So I had a pretty wide range of musical, influences. And I thought that I picked the bass. I think it picked me, and I loved the instrument from the very beginning. And my heroes, of course, were people like James Jamerson and from Detroit, you know, for those that don't know him, and upright players like Cleveland Eden, Richard Davis, Ron Carter, and Louis Satterfield, who was my teacher, you know.
Great. That's wonderful.
Who ended up becoming one of the Phoenix horns in the Earth, Wind and Fire horn section. Yeah, so I had a pretty good musical palette to work from, you know.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely, that's great.
I had a question about Charles Stepney.
Right, the late Charles Stepney.
How was it working with him?
It was fantastic. He was out of Chicago. Him and Maurice, great friends. They worked together with Ramsey and Step, as we called him, discovered Minnie Riperton, and he did her first record as well as the Rotary Connection, and Step worked with Ramsey, and Reese brought Step in to work with us. It was great. He was like our George Martin and big father figure, and we learned a lot of music. That period of learning music from Step and Maurice and was really incredible.
Awesome. Yeah. So, Verdine, can you just tell the fans a little bit about the early days of Earth, Wind and Fire, and how you guys, I guess, got your big break, so to speak?
All right. Well, we don't have a lot of time, so we actually need about 5 hours on this. But
They're gonna extend the show.
You know, but of course, you know, we started out of Chicago. You know, moved to California. You know, it was a process. You know, it was just a process, and of learning music and coming up with the sound and things like that. You know, over that first couple of years period of coming out to California, And coming up to California was actually quite different than coming from Chicago. You know, Chicago very urban, and in California we used to joke that California was peace, love, and granola. You know, and but it was great. You know, it's a process. You know, as we went on. You know, and but the journey was fantastic. A lot of fun, a lot of hard work, though. A lot of work.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Speaking of California, go ahead, Kim.
I was going the same way.
I know Verdine doesn't have a lot of time, so since he had mentioned California, I know we have a video clip, California Jam.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I guess we can go to that real quick. Well,
she's going.
You ready? Well, go ahead. Say what you're gonna say.
Your energy is endless on stage.
Oh yeah,
you've been doing it all your life. You know, is that something that you? I mean, you just. How did it come about? You giving so much energy for stage.
Well, first of all, in that clip, I'm so skinny. There's nothing left but energy, right? In that clip, right? You know? And that California Jam, ironically, it was for 250,000 people, and it was the inside cover of the Gratitude album. And that started that series of music, and we had the opportunity to play in front of those the major audiences and things like that, and with the kind of brand of music that we started out with. I mean, so it's but the energy was just infectious. That we always we loved the music, and the audience. We just saw in that clip, everybody had a lot of energy, and it was a lot of fun to work with, and you know what I mean. And of course, Maurice being the leader, and he was a great leader, so that was a big help for us too.
That's awesome, man. So, do we have any? I knew you don't have much time.
You guys are musicians, so you really want to really know what's going on. I know.
Oh yeah.
When we meet in person, we'll even talk a little bit more.
Oh yeah. We can't spill too much of the secret sauce, right?
Well, we got to give the fans what they want, but you guys want to know the musician vibe, right? I know.
Of course.
Well, while you're doing that, I mean, you're very familiar with Chairmen of the Board.
Oh yeah.
In fact, I think I know this. You played on one of our tracks, A Piece of Candy, that you did up in New York with General.
Yeah, with General. Yeah, General was cool, man. He wasn't mean to me. He was cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. General.
When I was around General, he smiled all the time. So maybe I caught him on the back end.
Yeah.
But he was a cool dude. He was really cool. It was great working with him. A lot of fun, easy to work with. You find with the artists, pretty much a lot of artists are easy to work with because mutual admiration society, and people just love music, and I think that's what we all have in common, that we love music first.
Absolutely.
That's
cool. That's cool. Do you have any clips at all?
Yeah. I think we can
the clip ready.
California Jam clip real quick. I think it's awesome.
That's awesome stuff.
Yeah.
I got to let you know my 6 year My 6-year-old son is a big fan of September and Let's Groove tonight. I had to throw that in there real quick.
Okay, and I'm gonna throw this in the list. We want to give a shout out to Tazz Cole, our friend and partner, for helping do this today. So we got to give a shout out, and the mask and everything that Tazz put together. Love you, Tazz.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to Tazz.
Oh yeah.
Thing and hey, you had a fan that was in the audience at the Ontario Motor Speedway that day. Kishan Ramahan.
Oh,
Ramahan, yeah, I'm trying to pronounce it too. Kishan Raman, I think. Raman.
Yeah, Raman.
Okay, cool deal. Cool deal. So we're gonna keep it moving.
We're gonna keep it moving right quick. So one of the best things that I loved was the fact you guys Kennedy honors.
Right.
That was incredible because I mean, to me that's the top of the food chain. You know, getting honored like that. So what was that like?
Well, as I tell everybody who saw it, it was a very surreal experience, and it was a once in a lifetime experience, and it's like being knighted, you know, and all the work that we had done, and they gave a great honor to Maurice, and that was really beautiful, and you know, I'll never forget it. It was great.
Yes.
Awesome. Do we have a clip, producer?
Welcome back to the Kennedy Center Honors.
Thank you. Earth, Wind, and Fire began its journey to the top of music's stratosphere nearly 50 years ago.
To kick off our celebration of your sound, please join me in welcoming the legendary John Legend.
You turn down love like it's really bad. Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, the greatest illusionist of our time, David Copperfield.
It's true, I got to hang out with the coolest guys in show business. Earth, Wind, and Fire. They were the first group to ever incorporate magic into their live performances, always wanting to top themselves and give the audiences bigger and better thrills. Magic fit right in with the image and mystique of the band, the Egyptian culture and mythology that influenced their costumes and album covers. I'll never forget the reaction when I told them about the illusion I created for them. Maurice, the music god, Maurice was going to be magically crushed by a heavy giant speaker. In unison, they said, "Do it with Verdine."
To Kennedy Center honorees Linda, Sally, Sesame Street, MTT, Philip, Ralph, and Verdine. And we can't forget Maurice. We celebrate you with the music of Earth, Wind, and Fire. All right, everybody, let's party just a little bit more.
Awesome stuff, man. Awesome stuff.
Awesome. Number one.
Well,
we got you both.
Yep.
I know you couldn't see it,
So
but one of the first to test positive on the COVID was Tom Hanks, and he was right in the front leading everybody to sing along with the with the band.
Nice.
Wow.
Nice.
He and his wife.
Kevin Spacey. Oh, that's all. I mean, that's one heck of an honor. You guys have influenced a lot of musicians. I call you the greatest band on earth myself.
Yeah.
And
Just
you have influenced a lot of bassists. One is, and you know this guy, Brandon Gilliard.
Oh yeah, Brandon, good guy. Plays with Janelle Monáe and are really great. He played with Evan Ross that I hooked him up with, and he's going to be one of the greats. And he checks in with me all the time. And Mario Hardis, who plays with Bruno Mars, checks in with me all the time. So so it's all great. It's all great. But before we wrap up, we just want to say what we're doing for the community. With the mask and everything. Go ahead.
Sure.
Well, no, we want to remind everybody to do what they can, while we're staying safe and sheltering in place. We got with my friend Lydia Kuzo, who has been sending thousands of masks out here to take to communities that need them. So we thank her. And we got some going out to Martin Luther King Hospital. We got, it's just time to take care of each other. So, and for our Performing Arts Center, we're trying to still do food giveaways out there. It's like whatever you can do to help, that's what, what we got to do.
Very important, very important.
That's right.
Well, we appreciate you guys doing that, You've inspired us now for us to get together and do some of the same things. As Chairman of the Board.
Absolutely. And Pastor Walter Davis is in charge over on 4700 in Avalon. And right before the pandemic, every Wednesday we were giving out free breakfast to all the kids in the neighborhood because a lot of kids eat breakfast in the mornings. So as we tell everybody, do what you can do, and stay safe and stay sane.
Stay safe.
Yeah. Are you guys out of time?
Well, yeah, I think we were wrapping up about 4 o'clock, right? I think we were, right? Our time,
Yeah, it's about that
time. And things like that, and, and we'll do another one. We'll do part 2.
Sure.
I know you would ask more stuff, about music, and we'll really get into it. But I think right now, let's just concentrate on the people and all the love and things like that, and good clips too. Really good clips.
Yeah. What are you guys' websites, real quick? And any closing words you'd like to give to our audience?
Well, like we said before, let everybody stay safe. You know what I mean? Stay sound. You know what I mean? And do what you can do.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, we thank the two of you for coming on our show, and great honor.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us. All right, Tazz. Love you.
Thank y'all so much. We appreciate it.
And thank everybody out there for tuning in for episode 4 with Miss Shelly Clark and Mr. Clark White and Mr. Verdine White.
And we're going to hold you to
part 2.
Yeah. All right.
God bless y'all, man. Thank y'all again.
Thank y'all so much.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, I guess we're frozen. Okay.
All right, so y'all guys let us know in the comments what y'all think about.
Yeah, we'll hop back on and respond to you guys, man. I think we still waiting for the closeout to happen, but hey, we still here, we still live. It's all good.
Well, you can read some of the comments.
Okay, let me see what we got. Crystal Stewart is on. Lisa Ryan is on.
Alfreda Harris down in Florida.
Alfreda.
Your mom, Brandon.
Hey, Miss Rose.
There goes Ellie.
Gail, Kimbro, what's up?
Oh, Gail's on. Okay.
Drew Schultz, what's good? Drew in Detroit.
Drew made it back again.
Drew is coming up in June.
Okay,
so,
he'll be on the show.
Yeah, and Rodney Shelton and Zia Rabi, and coming up, Miss Debbie McFadder and her brother Ron McFadder from the famous Clyde McFadder Blues.
Hey,
Angela Wright, what's up?
Hello. How's it? Oh, real quick, don't forget about Quarantunes tomorrow. We back.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
We
yeah.
back.
Y'all took a week off?
Yeah, man. You know, we've been on a quarantine grind. You know, staying busy. Me with Isaiah's schoolwork. We wrapping that up this week. You know, doing That's My Story and quarantines. We just decided to take a little break last week, but we back tomorrow, man. So be sure to drop by my Facebook page or Brandon's Facebook page. 7:30 tomorrow night, tomorrow evening, for some live music, some entertainment for you guys.
And then finally, once everything levels out, we're going out. I mean, you know, we can't wait to hit the road. You know,
we still got that project coming soon too.
Oh yeah, we got a project coming.
Yeah, the quarantine medley thing.
Yes,
it's coming, guys.
Oh yeah, we got some special video content coming for you guys.
Jamal said we can interview him next. My buddy from college. Come on the show, Jamal. Tell us all about the spoons and the water glasses. I need to know that, man. I want to add that to my repertoire. You did.
Mm-hmm.
Well, again, I much thanks to Verdine and Shelly for coming on and lighting up the world, you know, with the talents.
Oh yeah.
And
maybe we can get them back for another episode. There really wasn't enough time for us to really cover everything that we wanted to cover, you know, because both of them have had such extensive careers.
Oh yeah,
we got a lot of Earth, Wind, and Fire fans that are watching. So there's definitely a lot more questions that I wanted to ask.
Me too. Me too.
We weren't able to get to everything, but
that's good though.
They want to do a part 2, so we'll work on it. And also, we're going to work on getting Edna Wright and Greg Perry on the other half of the Honeycomb.
I heard they were named after someone's favorite ice cream. Was it one of the Holland brothers?
Probably. I can't really remember. Probably.
Hold on, I got it in my notes here, but I can't trust Wikipedia after they said it's.
Lamont Dozier
started out playing saxophone. He said that was incorrect, but it's
Wikipedia is not always a reliable source.
Not always credible, huh?
Yeah. I would say allmusic.com is
a little better
source. Yeah.
Okay, I think we ready to close, guys. Peace.
All right. Well, we'll see you next time. Tune in.
You dig?